What's up guys, I got a brand new video for you today, and today we're doing a studio tour. I've never done this before, mainly because I was working out of a small 9x9 bedroom before, but now we've got the space and we're looking at the office right here. I'm gonna walk through kind of everything I use. We'll take a look at my studio as well as the downstairs studio. So let's do it. All right, so we're gonna start with the desk. This is my homemade L-shaped standing desk. And I just got some butcher block from Home Depot, cut it up, and this is what we got. My computer is the Mac Studio, it's the M1 Ultra. I haven't upgraded because I feel like the M1 is still powerful enough. Actually, my laptop is still also an M1 Pro. I haven't upgraded as well. So still rocking the older M1 stuff because it's still good. I edit in DaVinci Resolve. I've got one of my videos up here that I was editing. I'm working off of 2 of the Mac Studio displays. They're awesome. Definitely one of the best displays that you can get. Not cheap, but yeah, I've got 2 of them so we can monitor the actual edit here. This is the Herman Miller Sail. This is my chair. I've got my PC down there, which is an overkill computer. It's an i9, 128 gigs of RAM. At one point, that's what I was working off of, and now it's just kind of a gaming PC. I have my 2 NASs down there, QNAP NAS. There's little things in here, cables, SSDs. I got my Lexar CF Express A and SD card reader. I am working on the Galaxy S24 Ultra review, so that's why that's here. Just some more cables. I got wireless charge pad on this. This is Peter Lindgren's Tri-Charge, which is pretty dope. I do not have that currently set up where I want to put that. I kind of want to put it on the charge wall. I've actually never talked about the charge wall. Basically, I have this all set up so that any batteries I need to charge, I can just throw them right up here and we're good to go. I need to mount it like right here or something. In here is all my audio stuff. So mics, lavs, different things like that. Again, more mics down here, and just other audio cables and stuff like that. Don't ask me why it's in there. It's just where I put it. So over here, I just kind of have some of my lenses and my camera bodies laid out. This is the 16-35 power zoom f4, the Sigma 85 f1.4, the Tamron 35-150, the Tamron 28-75 2.8 G2, and then this little guy, the 55 f1.8. And I also have a Sony 24-70 2.8 Mark II, A7 IV, A7S III, and then of course we got the Fuji X100, the original. And then I have a Sony ZV-1, which is a nice little vlog camera. And then for whatever reason, I'm still holding on to this. This is my Canon 5D Mark II. This is the first like pro camera I ever bought way back in like 2012, 2013. And I've just held on to it because it's worth holding on to. It actually still works and still takes great photos. So yeah, lighting the toolboxes, we've got the Nanlite Pavo tube, and I've got a couple of these. They're pretty awesome. And you've probably seen that in the back of most of my videos, and that's what this is. These toolboxes are just Husky toolboxes from Home Depot. There's nothing too exciting about them. So in here we've got all our NP style batteries, Insta360 Go 3 Black Edition, Osmo Action 1. And then I've got like lens adapters, these old 7 Artisan lenses, SD cards, just old SD cards in here that I've updated. I got CFast cards in here, some random light bulbs. It's just a lot of random batteries. This is probably a fire hazard. So this is the junk drawer. There's a lot of just random stuff in here. Laptop chargers, SSDs, label makers, sensor cleaners, Gorilla Pods, straps. Hey, there's some microfiber cloths that I actually need. Down here, I actually have all my cinema lenses. Hey Fred, how do you like living here? Do you like living here? Yeah, and then on this back wall, it's just a bunch of cables. We've got all of our Condor Blue, Gerald Undone style HDMI cables if we need them. These are all step up, step down filters, USB cables, flash. I've got all my triggers here. Oh, I didn't talk about this. So this is also a set. So typically I'd set the camera up here and I would shoot this way. You've probably seen that in some of my videos. And this is the key light we're using here. This is the Nanlite Pavo Slim 120C. And this is a really awesome light for a key light. And I've got just an old port keys monitor here so that I can monitor myself when I put the camera here. This little arm here is for doing top-down stuff when I'm doing little Instagram reels, and I'll put my phone in that and just film down here. And this is a sit-stand desk, so right now it looks like it's really, really high, so we can lower this down. Everything's all cable managed. The PC's also hooked up with everything cable managed, so it's nice. Everything's all just together like that. And yeah, basically I would sit here and the camera would be there. And that's the setup. Nothing too exciting. It's pretty simple. Just a Pavo tube up there and the Pavo Slim up here. Alexa, turn on office lights. I need Alexa to turn on one light for me because I'm too lazy. All right, so I'm in the downstairs kind of studio area. I've done a lot of shoots down here. I set the backdrop up. This is kind of my rolling cart that I will set my laptop up on so I can tether to the computer and get a view on the actual monitor here. There's just a bunch of USB cables and Cardellinis and random stuff down here. I got a whole bunch of lights from Nanlite. Got to give a huge shout out to them because they've lit this entire studio. We'll take a look at the actual set upstairs and you'll see what I'm talking about. Right now I've got the Forza 300B2 set up here on one of their large domes. And we've been using this quite a bit, and sometimes I'll mix this in with like a Fresnel, or I'll actually use a strobe or something like that. But as you can see, we've got a bunch of Nanlite stuff here, which is awesome. So yeah, this used to be an old church, which is really cool. So we've got these massive high ceilings, and they built this loft out into the church. And so the cool thing about this is we get so much natural light up there, as well as just being able to lift our lights up higher. I've never been in an area other than using a real studio where I could actually do that. So it's definitely a huge benefit to living/working out of this space. All right, I think we've pretty much covered everything down here. So let's move up to the main set, the main YouTube set, because that's where all the magic is. Come on. All right, so this is the new YouTube set. And basically I wanted to style something out that looked kind of like a 1970s basement. So you're just chilling on the couch here, hanging out with your buddies, playing guitar, watching TV. It took me a while to kind of curate all of these things and kind of get together sort of a look that I like. And I wanted to do something different than like your typical YouTube set where there's RGB or the slat walls. So I put in this like fake wood paneling. This is actually wallpaper. We can start in this corner here. I have this old record player. This is a Pioneer SX 434. These are all like true, genuine, like 70s hi-fi stereo stuff, and these old crappy speakers down here. So coming over here to the wall, whether anyone cares or not, this is my son, Fred. That's a picture I took of him on the iPhone. Speaking of my son, hey buddy, what's up? You wanna come in? Come in. What do you mean no? What do you mean yes? Come on in. So one other thing that's pretty common in old like 70s style houses is your painting on the wall, you know, the Bob Ross in the golden frame. This is actually a photo I took out west back in 2015, and I decided to put it in like a painting frame because it matches the look. And then these two ads here are actually from 1965 out of the catalog of the car that I'm currently restoring, which is a 1965 Ford Galaxy. So in each of these lamps, we actually have the Nanlite Pavo Bulb 10C. And so I can actually control that from the app with all the other lights in here. This is actually an LED panel on the wall, and I can turn that on. And this is if I wanted like, you know, like a midday sun look. So, but basically you could just be chilling on the couch here, and it looks kind of like it's your afternoon sun. And I also have the Forza 60B2 with the projection unit on it so that I can actually project like blinds on the wall. And the nice thing about this space is that there is no ceiling on that room. So I can lift this all the way up over this wall. It's kind of like an actual studio set if you have ever been on like a film set. So yeah, come with me, you can see how this looks. So it just kind of looks like, you know, an afternoon with the sun coming through the blinds. So the cool thing is we can add a completely different mood by just firing that at the wall, and it looks like it's coming from this fake window. Okay, so let's move over to where I actually have my talking head set up. So everything is on one rolling stand. So we've got the Pavo 120C on here as my key light. And we've got the Atomos Ninja 5, which I record directly to an SSD. And this way I can just take this out and go edit right on the computer when I'm done. The nice thing is too, I can also monitor myself and make sure that everything is looking good. And this is connected to the Sony a6100. Now, a lot of people might think that's crazy that I'm using a Sony a6100, but in my opinion, it's the perfect talking head camera because I don't need anything more than it already does. It has a good flip-up screen, it has good eye detection, autofocus, it has a mic jack, and it also has clean HDMI out. And it's just good enough for that I don't really need it for anything else. So it just sits on the stand and everything's kind of ready to go. Now, I might be upgrading this camera because I feel like I've got this more dynamically lit scene now, and it's maybe a little bit too much for it because there are no picture profiles. It doesn't shoot 10-bit, it's all 8-bit. But it still looks good, and I think it's fine for now. But I think if the A7S IV comes out anytime soon this year, I will be retiring the A7S III and using it for that. So right now I'm using the Sony A7 IV as an overhead camera. So when I'm doing unboxings or trying to show something, I've got the Tamron 28-75 G2 on it, so I can get up close if I want to show something up close, or zoom back out if I want to have a nice wide shot. It's just on a C-stand with a sandbag kind of holding it there. I do have sound blankets set up here because it's pretty echoey in here because there is no ceiling. There's no ceiling on this room. So everything kind of just echoes. So the sound blankets kind of help a little bit to dampen the audio. Obviously I've got carpet in here, which helps as well. So up above me here, I've got kind of like an edge light, and that is a Nanlite FS150B with a Fresnel on it. Anyway, I think that kind of covers everything for this room. So I think what I'll do now is I'll hop in here and show you what it's like to actually control all the lights from the app. This would be considered the nighttime scene. It's kind of darker looking. I can turn off all the lamps, and that's just the main key light on there right now. And if I turn this Pavo tube on, you can see it's lighting the shelf. And that was just because the shelf was kind of falling into darkness, so I felt like it needed to be lit up. We can turn these lamps back on. And I also have the FS50 with a Fresnel on it, so you can see that turned on here. And that just kind of adds a bit of a edge light to me. It kind of lights the side of my face up a little bit better. Actually, you'll be able to see this better if I turn the key light off. So as you can see there, it's kind of lighting the edge of my face. And if I turned off all these lamps, you can see what it's doing there. And that's kind of a moody look, but I'll turn the main key light back on. And if I want to go to the daytime scene, I can turn the Forza 60B2 on, and that has the projection unit with a blinds gobo in it. So it kind of looks like it's shining light at the back wall there. And then if I turn the window light on, you can see there's kind of more warm light coming in. And this is kind of more of like a, I'd say something like a late afternoon or something like that kind of feel. And I can cool these lights up. They're pretty much all bicolor, and some of them are actually RGB, so I can go crazy with the lights. And then the other cool thing in these scenes is that I can go and sit down in that back couch and do like a closer angle. And I also do B-roll at this table. So what happens is I'll pull the table out a bit and shoot into the room, and then I'll use the key light overhead here to kind of light that scene, or I'll pull in another light. And then that way I can have some really cool B-roll with the room. Yeah, I think that looks dope. This took me a long time to get set up. Not necessarily the lighting, but just finding everything in this room that kind of matches the look that I wanted, and then lighting it. All right, so that was the studio tour, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you could see a little bit more of my space and everything that I'm using. Big shout out to Nanlite once again for lighting the studio. It looks amazing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, I think we're done. Two with the projector. Do an MTV Crib style shoot. What the? I've got the two. I'm out of breath. It's just because I'm sick. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I think that's it.